request to make a short video for the vagus nerve. So the vagus nerve is a long nerve that it's called a wanderer. It wanders down and innervates a lot of systems. It is related to nervous system regulation. So if we have good vagal tone, we're able to kind of balance ourselves between the fight or flight system, the sympathetic nervous system, and the parasympathetic nervous system, the rest, digest, and heal part of the nervous system. The problem is sometimes just because of life, stress, diet, lack of exercise, lots of things, we get kind of stuck in that fight or flight nervous system, and our vagus nerve becomes dysregulated along with our nervous system. So that's it in a very quick nutshell. But we're going to be doing this practice to regulate the vagus nerve and regulate our nervous system. So I invite you to start in mountain pose as I am. Also notice I'm practicing outside in bare feet. Very good for our nervous system and our immune system. So just find a comfortable stance, and when you're ready, if it feels comfortable to you, place one hand on your belly, one hand on your heart. If it feels comfortable to you, you can close your eyes and just tune in to how you are feeling now and your breath. So I invite you to deepen your breath by placing hands on the body. Sometimes it helps us to invoke a sense of safety and just feel our breath a little bit more. So without really forcing it, allow those inhales to be really full. Allow the exhalations to be really complete. Arriving right here in your body, right now. Then we're going to morph it just a little bit. So doing novel things or things we don't usually do in our yoga practice or in our movement practice can be also really good for our vagus nerve. So you're going to take your right hand, place it just gently on your shoulder. Your left hand crosses the body into your ribs. It's almost like you're giving yourself a little hug. Notice if your shoulders are up to here, relax them down. And just take another full breath or two. Feel the breath move into the ribs, the belly, the chest. Maybe say to yourself, I am safe enough to be practicing yoga. I care enough about myself to take a pause and practice. Now, if it felt good to you, you could take that right hand and massage a little bit into the left side of your neck. Another part of vagus nerve regulation is doing a lot of neck work, promoting relaxation. Again, this idea of self-care and nurturance. When that feels complete, just uncross. Notice the body, and we'll do that on the other side. So left hand comes to grace the top of the shoulder, right hand to the side ribs, and breathe fully and deeply. And if it felt good on the other side, a little massage into the right side of the neck. Maybe on this side you take a little look up and a little look down. Changing our gaze, another way to regulate that vagus nerve, our nervous system. When that feels complete, just shake it out a little bit, observe your body. Actually, let's shake a little bit more. Another really good way to regulate the nervous system, the vagus nerve, is to just simply shake. or pursing lips. I always feel silly when I do it, but they help. The reason why they help is they help extend our exhalation, another way to calm that nervous system. So, one more time. Beautiful. It's okay if you feel silly. Laughing, smiling, another way to calm that nervous system. So your feet are a little wider. We're going to go into one of my favorite mini Qigong practices. They call it knocking on the door of life. So just twisting a bit. One hand comes in front, one hand comes behind us. Just actually tapping into the kidneys, the adrenal glands, an area that can get a little overtaxed with too much stress, not enough sleep. So give your adrenal glands a little love. Then maybe bring it up to the chest. Opening your heart, opening to the idea of you regulating your life, your nervous system, as opposed to being a victim to all of the things that happen to you. How can we control and regulate ourselves? Another version, tap into the neck. The other hand can tap into the low back. Really good for people that work at a desk to kind of address the neck. Love, tenderness. And take your gaze around. Twisting in our yoga practice, like we're doing now, helps us to look around and see a broader perspective. That bird's eye view, so to speak, that we're not just in the muck of the craziness of life. Maybe we see the bigger picture. Bring in a sense of spirituality. All right, slow that down. Pause and notice. Another way to just regulate is to pause and notice. If we are feeling dysregulated, what small little things can we do? Maybe just one or two of these things that I suggest today to bring you back a little closer to center. So since we did a twist, let's try to move our spine in all its different directions. So we're going to take a lateral side bend. Actually, let's start with an upward lift. I really like that movement of the spine. So inhale, reach up, maybe gaze up. Exhale, slow exhale. Bring hands to the heart. So we're trying to lengthen those exhalations. Inhale up. Exhale down. Need that whispery quality to your breath. You might be breathing a little different than me. That's okay. A long exhale. Really pull the belly in at the bottom of the exhale. One more time. Now we'll move into the lateral bends. So in a similar fashion, inhale, reach up and over your head. It doesn't matter which side. Exhale, pull that belly in. And you can circle that arm around. Inhale. Exhale, pull the belly in. Let it all go. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. And then we'll hold. If it feels comfortable, you could clasp that wrist or just let that left arm hang. We're keeping the belly in, the tailbone down, and breathing down the right side of your body. When you're ready, let it go. You roll the shoulders, observe any subtle differences between the two sides of the body. And we'll do that on the other side. Inhale, left arm sweeps up. Exhale, pull that belly in. Keep pulling as you circle that arm around. Inhale up, exhale, lateral bend. Your way, your pace. Take a minute to look around you and hold your way. Breathing into the left side of the body. Feeling those full exhales, belly drawing back. When you're ready, let it go. Maybe roll the shoulders back, observe. Good. So we'll take one more movement of the spine. This time we'll do a little back bend and a little forward bend. If you're feeling like your back is a little tight, you can just touch your knees. You can also fold down to a chair. That's helpful too. So inhale up, little back bend, lift the heart. Exhale, fold forward your way. I tend to tap down my hamstrings. Let's just hang here the first time. Sometimes I make little circles on the ground. Another novel little movement. Just circle. Inhale, up. Pull that belly in. Exhale. Touch the ear. Inhale. Face flat back, rise up. Baby back bend. Return. Let's do that 2 more times with your own breath cycle. Moving with your breath. Modifying in it any way you need to. Try to make those exhalations a little bit longer. Place hand on heart and belly. Pause and observe. So we're going to do 2 more little movements. Trying to keep the practice short. So again, I mentioned novel movements or doing something a little different. Maybe driving to work in a different direction, walking in the opposite direction of your walking trail. Doing different movements in the body. So take your hands up. You might make temple mudra. I love this mudra, just the idea that our body is a temple, deserving care and respect. And then just make little circles with the upper body. The lower body will get into it a little bit, but this is actually good for finding little tight spots in your middle back. So just go with it. In the other direction whenever you're ready. Alright, here's your challenge. Can you make a figure 8 pattern with your fingers? Interesting. And if you struggle with it, that's okay. Figure 8. Maybe you take that figure 8 in the other direction. Again, no judgment if it doesn't come natural. Alright, let it go. Okay, so one more movement here. In another video, I'm going to focus a lot on the psoas, the muscle that connects the lower body with the upper body, this big muscle in our hips. So it keeps us things together physically, but also emotionally, mentally, trauma. We can hold a lot here in our body if we're under stress. So we're simply going to step one foot forward, the other foot back, around. Just kind of like a mini warrior one. Cat, maybe he'll get into the screen. Beep boop. Come on over. Sorry. So we're going to flow a little bit again. Maybe this is a novel movement. We're going to inhale, scoop our arms up. Exhale, out. Inhale, up. Exhale, out. Kind of establishing the boundaries. Inhale, up. Sink in, so we're massaging this left psoas. Exhale, out. Flip your fingers. Inhale, up. Exhale, out. And then so again, just a little mini warrior one. We're breathing into this left hip. Let it go. Step it forward. Come back to your mountain and just observe your body. Observe any subtle differences between the two hips. So now left foot forward, right foot back. A little stagger between the feet. And we'll do that same thing. So as you inhale, bend into the knee, arms reach up. Exhale, work towards straighten. Flick those fingertips out. Flicking away anything that's not serving you. Inhale up. Exhale out. You can do a big exhale, make a little noise, another way to regulate. Exhale. Two more times. Check with me, buddy. And then hold. Breathe into that right hip. And when you're ready, step it back together. Back to your mountain and observe. So you might need to pause the video now. I have about 5 more minutes of kind of a breathing self-massage practice. I'm going to tag in. So if you have time, you can add it in. If you don't, maybe just pause and breathe for another minute or two. So we want to find a comfortable seat. So you could sit right into a chair. I'm just going to kneel. I tend to like hero's pose, but it's not for everybody kneeling. You can sit propped up with a pillow or a cushion, or again, take a chair. You want to be comfortable. So notice how you're feeling here. Notice the breath. If it felt good to you, some of those gestures that we began with, you could do hand to heart, hand to belly. If you like that kind of cross pattern with a hug. That cross pattern on the other side. So a little massage into the neck if it feels good. A little gaze up, a little gaze down. And you might recall me mentioning how important it is to do a little neck work. And massage can be a good way to do it. So maybe just rub your hands together, generate a little heat. so many options. This can really just be intuitive, but we're gonna focus on the ears and the sides of the neck today. So take your right hand and just rub down the back of your ear. Start at the top all the way down that little groove. A little trick if you're prone to allergies or eustachian tube dysfunction, just block ears. I'll give you a quick little snippet that ties into this. Just maybe take your pointer finger and rub right here in front of the beginning of your ear. You can either make little circles or do a little pumping action. Remember to breathe. Let go. Might feel more awareness to your ear. You could also take that same finger kind of behind your ear. Do the same thing, little circling or pumping. So let's do that same thing on the other side. So left hand just massage down the back of the ear. Yeah, this could be just a quick thing that you do in your car, actually, in the bathroom. Nobody would even really know you're regulating your vagus nerve if you do this at your desk. Let's do that eustachian tube thing. So pointing finger to the very beginning of the ear right here. Either circles or pumping. I like pumping. Remember those long exhales. Let go. And then fingertip to the very base behind the ear. Circle or pump. I find it interesting that the ears are really tied to vagus nerve regulation. Maybe discerning what are we hearing, is what we're hearing true, is what we're hearing necessary. We need to hear less, make more time for silence. So we'll do one more. This time I'll just do the whole ear, which is really good. So you kind of grab your earlobe, both of them. You can do them both at the same time or one at a time, and just circle. I tend to do backward circles. Kind of pull on the ear a little bit. This is also good for your eustachian tube. If you like to travel up to the top of the ear, you can give that a little love. But I'm kind of linger down here. Remember to breathe. Whenever you're ready, let it go. Observe your breath. Observe perhaps a spacious feeling around your head, your ears, your time, your life. I encourage you to just rest a minute longer and just feel into the effects of your practice. Know how powerful these practices are. Know how powerful you are to regulate your nervous system, to bring peace and wholeness into your life, which is why and how we were created. Namaste.